Hello YouTube fans, here again, and I figure why not review this one, classic comedy from the early 80s, that being Splash. I would say Splash is also a love story, as Debbie Hunter, very terrible at remembering her name, Debbie Hunter, and also Tom Hanks. I like Tom Hanks. I mean, this was not long after I did the comedy film, if I remember right, The Pats of the Party. Also has my favourite actor, Moive, being Jim Carrey. And basically, it's a long, die, fantasy comedy. Now, this film, originally, Walt Disney was going to do this film and it's going to be called Splash. I have to say, Walt Disney did not. Have you ever seen the sequel, Splash 2? Don't bother. Avoid it like a fucking STD. It fucking sucks. It is absolutely shit. None of the actors, none of the actresses stay back to prize the role, and I can see why. This, on the other hand, I have to say Walt Disney did not do. Now, at the time, they were trying to get the rights. Another movie was going to do another mermaid film, and it never became that successful. On the other hand, this one did. So it starts off, you got a young boy, he jumps in the water, he sees a very young girl, surprise, surprise, she's a mermaid, which the does follows on through the film. And he doesn't feel sorry for Tom Hanks' character, he's about to get married, and the one who's his wife shits all over him and does that, and he gets in his taxi. We always meet one, don't we? Maybe you go to a shop, maybe you go anywhere, you always get someone, and you feel like saying, if you don't like your job, resign, get another job. Don't take it out of me, you fucking prick. Because this taxi driver is a complete and utter dickhead. He's a knob from the get-go. And he gets in, he's banging on the taxi. He's trying to get more money out of him. And Tom Hanks tells him where he's going. He's like, where are you going? Well, you better give us the money. Real fucking snotty attitude. So that's not words like the love of his life. He's done that. That happens. And I think at the point he's pissed off and he gets a boat ride and by accident he falls in the water and that doesn't get any worse, he gets a bang on the head. Now, I can get a name right, Debbie Hunter, who is well known, and I'll be reviewing that, Blade Runner, I'm reviewing all the Woody Allen films. I don't see appeared in the film called The Four. If you've never seen that film, damn unestimated film. Very, very good film, and we're reviewing that. She's in a small role in that. She was well known at the time for being in Blade Runner. That's the android woman, the one who was Woody Allen's love of his life before Harrison Ford's character, being Detta, shoots her. And that's landed the role in this 2 years later, being in Splash. I do believe that she did deep sea diving for real. So went in the ocean. You had a fog man, as I like to call him, putting air in her mouth every 2 minutes when she went underwater. And it shows she actually did the underwater swimming herself. There was no body double. There was no professional deep sea diver pretending to be her. She actually did that herself. And I salute her. I'm surprised this film did not win award for the underwater scene in it, because it is amazing. So like I say, sometimes he's underwater, he's fell in the water, he gets saved. And you see the girl, and he's got her hair covered in her breasts, but you've got ideas she's naked. He doesn't know that she's a mermaid, and so on. And he gets saved, he gets back to town, he's Jim Carrey. I miss that guy, he's one of the most funniest man ever, really is, as his brother, and so on. And she comes back in the bud, and Tom Hanks bails her out, and it's not like a love story. It's a love story, but you always get someone what's got to spoil it. This dickhead, this knob, wants to prove that she's a mermaid. And if you think you've seen him before, he's the one that played in American Pie. Remember the one that played the dad? He's in this, and he's big break. And all the way through the film, he's down the wetter, he met somebody else, he gets battered, which is kind of funny scene. It hasn't done effects in it and all. Like, I like the bit where she's having a bath and you see the tail come out and John Hanks is knocking on the door, she's getting her hair dry to dry it. I don't like that effect because it's a good effect. And so on. But eventually the guy gets what he wants, he throws a bucket of water on her and he proves that she's a mermaid. There's a few good bits in it, like the bit where she goes in this place, the old TVs, and she makes you see, he wants to know her name, and she goes, my name is, I'm not going to do it, it sounds terrible, worse than in the film, and the TV just bowls up. But like I say, he wets her, and he proves that she's a mermaid, and then you've got people wanting to treat her as a mermaid. Halfway through the film, he feels like shit, Tom Hanks does that, but then he feels guilty afterwards. Even the buffer says, so what, you fell in love with a mermaid. So what? She loved you. Don't treat her like shit. So they all go to rescue, or even the one that felt bad goes to rescue, so they get her out. And the army's chasing her, and I'm saying, no, 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 let her go, let her go. Even me as an audience, knowing I watched this as a kid, and even now I still love Splash. I really do. Something splashed me with water. So she jumps in the water, he jumps in with her, and this bit always gets me because he's a human, she's a mermaid. She can breathe in water. I mean, there's some deep bits in it where she goes in this broken ship and she's swimming underwater. Again, why the film did not win awards for that, it's amazing the fact she did that herself. But what's got me is how the hell could he breathe when he's a human and she's a mermaid? And that's got me because you got the ideas she's going into her universe, where they've got mermans and mermaids. There's a bit there, but I'd love to see more of that, where she's swimming along and somehow she kisses him and it turns him into a merman, and maybe you see a lot of them, mermaids, merman. I don't know, but it never got to be. You do see that dickhead taxi driver and somebody knocks his taxi over, what made me go, yes, because you always do, you always get one person who's a dick. When you get a taxi, go to a pub, go to a shop, you always get someone, instead of doing the job, they're a jerk with it, you know what I mean? Happens to us all. So I'm kind of happy to see that bit where the army knocks the taxi over off this dickhead. Coming out the word, right? This film's getting me all excited. Because this film to me is a childhood sweetheart. I love this film. I mean, Deborah Hunt, if I remember her name, I've got her name right. I think she really played a good role. You can definitely see after this, why she's got a lot of other date roles after. I mean, John Mann definitely shows his acting talent. He was there when he was doing comedies before he did, before he went into serious roles like Philadelphia, for his Gump and all that. But I like this. I like Splash. I think it's arts on its sleeve. I think it's a very good film. I think it's a very well made film. The ending is satisfying. They do make that one. It makes that one pointless. It never needed a sequel. The only mermaid film I'd say I'd like of Walt Disney would be an animated one. Come out in '89. You know what that was called? It was called Little Mermaid in 1989. Movie roles of Walt Disney, it's not my forte. There's only ever been a few I like, and maybe one day around the road I'll review them. But Splash, I like this. You know what I mean? It was a damn good film, and it's art on its sleeve. I think there's some good acting in it. There's the humour's there when you want the humour. It's a love story, and they don't make films like this anymore. They've been talked at one point making a remake. Please don't make a remake. Don't make a remake. I've seen the track record of remakes, and they fucking suck. This on the other hand, I like this. I mean, I like Tom Hanks. I keep saying her name. I think she's brilliant in the role as the mermaid. I like the performance in it. I remember the iconic poster where she's lying on the beach. She's got a mermaid tail. She's half naked, but not fully naked because it's for a longer audience, with the word splash. I always like that iconic poster. So for that, because it's a classic and they don't make films like this anymore, fuck it. A 9-star rating for me because they don't make films like this anymore. Splash is a damn good film, very unestimated film. Yes, I'm jumping in the water and kissing the fucking swim of the mermaid, but at the end of the day, I think it's a dud un. Into then, have a dud un, be smart, be safe. I'll do it again. See you later.